So I wanted to have you guys, I'm gonna give you the full experience. So I'm in Cape Clear Island. There's the ocean behind me, but it's so foggy you can't see it. And I'm all by myself. You can see some cows up on the hill. And here's the sign before you go into the monoliths. You beware of the bull. So supposedly the bull's not out, but the lady just dropped me off. Like, well, we'll see if the bull's out. So I've been in here. I don't see the bull. But that's what we're dealing with. That's what we got here. So I've already been into the stones. Hi, Anna. Hi. Oh, I'm so glad this is working. I was like, I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, I took the ferry here. Hi, Ahmed, Vicky, Steph, Douglas, Margaret. It's so good to see you. So I took the ferry from Baltimore. I'm going to stay in Baltimore tonight. And I had quite an adventure getting here. There was a flood on the road, and it was all so fun. And I got kind of sick in the ferry. Like I didn't my stomach was. I was like, oh, I need food when I get there, but it's like closed time. There's it's off season, so I get to the little place at the harbor. This little fishing boat drops us off, and it was just me and like one other guy on the ferry. And it was just me and two guys in this little hut. And he was like, "Oh, I don't have any food." He's like, "Well, wait a minute. What do I got? What do I got?" And he had just like a little bit of bread, a little bit of ham, cheese, and a tomato. So I had like the best sandwich ever and got to pet the dog Millie and hang out and feel like a local. And then like there's only 100 people or something that live on this island. And so then he calls the gal down the road to come give me a ride. So then she brought me up here. It's about a 40-minute walk back, so I can't stay on too long. But she brought me to the marrying stone. So let me turn it around so you guys can see as I approach. So these are the standing stones or marrying stones that are very old. Nobody really knows how old they are, supposedly, but they're, Bronze Age, Neolithic, definitely prehistoric. And they think there were, there's my bag, 4 of them. I don't see where the 4th would be, but this definitely seems to be a 3rd that's laying down. I feel like there were 3 of them, and that this is sort of like a mother and a father. And the myth is that a giant, Finn McCool, or one of the local giants, placed them. And then it's one of many of these marrying stones. It has a hole, and nobody knows how that was built, but it definitely looks like machine made. I mean, I don't know, you tell me, but it's very precise. And what people do is supposedly when they couldn't, afford to like have a ring, they would get married through the stone. So they would through and touch hands, and then they were married. And while I was sitting here, I had a very distinct feeling of like, this is the female and that's male. And then this was like the 3rd, like the Trinity kind of thing. I don't know. Who knows? But quite dramatic, aren't they? So there's the view. So I've been out here for a little while. There's these beautiful rock walls. Oh, there, they can see the bull. Oh, he just went behind the hill. Almost. Anyway, so what I want to do is a ritual here. So definitely these stones are, so there's way more prehistoric sites all over Ireland than I knew. Claudia, hi. Diane, hi. Like there's so many. And so there were these ancient dolmens in the land I was staying on in Galbally that I didn't even know. I just knew I wanted to stay in this cottage near where my homeland is, which is Galbally. Turns out Conan O'Brien's family is from there too. He was here not long ago. He went far from there now, but turns out these ancient dolmens were on the site, and so I went and sat on those, and got codes and messages, and they act like nodal points, you know? I mean, hopefully I'm not repeating myself for people who know this, but, like, it's sort of they all exist on these ley lines, the meridian lines of the world, and all of our ancient sites. If you look at like Angkor Wat and Giza and Teotihuacan and all, like they line up. And so these are like acupuncture points basically. And Ireland has a ton. Just and they're all on these private lands. So these dolmens where I was staying before, like they don't even know, they haven't even really been studied. They're just on this person's land. And they let people through every once in a while for, these walks. But it was just me again. It was just me on these ancient sites. That's, like, been the trip so far. So I'm gonna go to Brigid's Well and to the Grange Stone Circle, and then there's a new Grange. The stone circle I'm gonna go to tomorrow before Brigid's Well is, like, the biggest stone circle in Ireland. And then the dolmens that I saw before were like there was only 3 in a row anywhere, and then these are the biggest marrying stones. And then New Grange is the oldest site, it's older than Giza. So and I'm gonna go to the Hill of Tara as well. So that seems to be the trip. I didn't really know what I was gonna do. I had made very little few plans. But these marrying stones, I was like, "Maybe I'll do that for 11:11, come here." But this is obviously way too um, it's too up in the air. Like there's no I'm not gonna have a charging station. It's hard to bring the party here. And I wanted to party with you guys. So I was like, oh, but I gotta go. So today's the day. And I want to do a ritual. And Max, hi, thank you. Jeff, good morning. Hi, Claudia. Oh, Claudia, I got my crystals. Here, we can do a live crystal. I'm gonna do crystal placement. I already took some moss off these. My diorama of my village? I've been working on it a little bit. I haven't made any more clay buildings, but it has grass. So I took a bunch of moss from both of these as me part of my diorama. Uh, the diorama now has all these, like, crystal towers and things. Oh, it's very future and very ancient. It looks new and ancient, which is the vibe. So I got this clear as I was standing here before I went live. Um, so here, Claudia, I got Claudia's crystals. Everybody, go get Claudia to put her holographic codes into a clear quartz crystal, right? And so now this is a healing tool, and I'm standing on an amplifier, right? I'm standing on a node. Right? That's why acupuncture points work. They're access points to the energetic grid, right? So here's going to be put some of her crystals right here. So, right? It's like putting it in an antenna. So now the codes are being. So I got this clear message of to do a ritual here. And then we've got the homecoming vibe. This is the homecoming. We're in the homecoming, right? The homecoming party. Oracle has told me several times, she's like, "You're the homecoming. You're the homecoming node." I'm like, right, because we're each nodes, we're each channels. I'm like, "You're right. I'm the homecoming," and I am. The last 2 days, I've been thinking about how, like, temporarily I can be like, "Listen, I need some space from a friend or something," but in the end, everyone's welcome at my table, right? I think of everyone as family, and they're just like more or less lost, right? And I've been thinking so much about the guy, the billionaires and the guys holding the wealth, power, not joining the party, like just isolating themselves, just not conscious. And how well I posted this thing about how um they're poor, so we don't have the money, but they have the money, but everybody's poor because it's one body. So if there's hoarding of wealth, there's like hoarding blood. And if the right side of the body has a bunch of blood, but the left side doesn't, neither the right side nor the left side is functioning well, is healthy or rich. And this is not communism or anything like that. I get accused of all kinds of things like that. There's no ism in nature, right? There's no ism to like a body's blood naturally flowing. it's there's no theory or philosophy needed. So my point in saying that is that I keep like, and it's like, how do I invite these guys home? And the homecoming party is obviously a part of that, but it's like, um, and it's like, it's like, um, it's like sending the message, "You're welcome here." Because I was on Twitter. Oh, I can only be on Twitter for, like, moments at a time. But I'm like, "Oh my god, there's so much racism and so much classism and, like, sexism." But what's happening is, like, Elon, for instance, he's projecting all of his fears onto people of color and and it's like an invitation, it's like a mother, like a homecoming, like, if this the world is my home, and it is, and the world is your home, and I'm setting a table, right? As a welcoming person, it's like, "Elon, you're welcome here. Um, don't worry, like, everything you're imagining is wrong, like, these are actually your brothers and sisters." And the same goes for every so-called division, right, between billionaires and non-billionaires, rich and poor, between black and white, between men and women, between north and south. Every idea that we have of where we're divided, it's just an idea. There are no countries. There are no dividing lines. There's no line that divides anything. It's just optics. So I'm always like, what will invite him? And so and that so this idea of like I'm my 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 vibe is homecoming and a bridge. I'm a bridge from, these dividing these groups that are not actually divided, but think they are, and people who believe that. So the ritual that came was to through this hole, m- marry um, these illusory divisions, right? So rich, poor, men, masculine, feminine, um, right? Because masculine and feminine is a blend. It's not. There's not a line. Um, North and south, east and west. Um, and then ask you guys what imagined divisions you can think of, and then we'll marry them together, and we'll just sort of like load up my hands, and I have a little my bag so I can prop it up so we can witness it. And it'll be like, here's the north, here's the south, and that we're sitting on this amplifier, and those who are still in the story of division can hear and feel that that division has been healed, that there's been a marrying, a merger, a convergence. Because really, his homecoming is like a convergence, right? Of those who are lost coming home, um, of us, of our stories of country, our stories of evil. That there's a bad guy out there. All of these, there's this convergence, and everybody's better for it in the same way that the left and right brain, the more bridge between the two, the more myelin and the more um, you know, pathways, the healthier the body, the healthier everything. So this seemed to me like a good place to do that, to be a bridge together and marry these so-called divisions. Sound good? Please live stream from the Hill of Terra. Okay, I will. I'm going to try to live stream everywhere I go. Hi, Netta Faye. Oh my God, you're making a microcosm of the macrocosm with your diorama. Exactly. Making a microcosm. That's right. That's it. Exactly. I'll put this moss. Maybe I'll make, I've got stones, maybe I'll make like the standing stones, the marrying stones on my diorama. I don't know. I gotta take a picture of its current iteration. It's looking very surreal, very funny. I'm loving it though. Hi, Lamar. Hill of Terra for the homecoming. Yes, I'll be there. Oh, you're gonna be there for okay, great. Okay, and yours are contact. I'm gonna go back. So I'm going back and forth on where I'm gonna go for the homecoming. Um, Originally it was Jack Dorsey because I still see him as the defector. Where this go, it's like he's so focused on money. These guys so focused on money, they don't know. It's like literally one of them, just literally one acts like a pinprick in a water balloon, and then it just all goes. So I don't know that he is, but he's still my best contender for defector. And in the end, I'm just having fun now. I'm like, that's the vibe. That's like we're just I am home and we're just having fun at the house, which is everywhere in the um And so I was like, I could stay in Ireland, I could go home, I was like, well, maybe it's just in the Central Coast, maybe it's in San Luis Obispo, maybe it's at the beach. Um, and y'all can come hang out or whatever. But then I was like, no, and I was like, maybe it's the state capital in Sacramento, because Michael Wisnu is gonna go there. If y'all don't know Michael, get to know him, mankinder. Been really helpful to me. Anyway, I went back to Dorsey's because I just think it's funny. In the end, I think it's really funny. The idea that I'm just gonna show up there, we're gonna show up there, whoever wants to come, and, like, Douglas, you're gonna bring, like, a karaoke machine, you know what I'm saying? And that makes me laugh. The idea of a street party and just the homecoming, it's like, well, this is all my house, and that includes Jack Dorsey's house. That's my house, and everywhere I've been going in Ireland, I'm like, St. Patrick's Cathedral, I spent almost all the whole time there. I put your crystals all over St. Patrick's, by the way, Claudia. Like, I put it in the pulpit. There was an eagle, an eagle pulpit. I put it behind the eagle's head. I snuck them everywhere, all over St. Patrick's Cathedral, because that place is beautiful, but it's so neglected. And I read a plaque thing from Mark Twain, who said it was neglected in his time. And I'm like, what are we doing, Um, but it's such a beautiful portal. But it's got all the dark, religious stuff. So I'm like, "Oh my god, this needs a cleaning," and then I wanna paint it and put cushions everywhere, and basically it's a dance hall is what I see. So, I've been going to St. Patrick's, going all over, and I just see everything as home and, like, in our house, and, like, it's all our houses, So we're just gonna pop into St. Patrick's, and, so that's the same with Dorsey's, and, it's sort of easier to think of a church as your house, but a billionaire's house, it's like, "Oh, no, it's like, "No, fuck that, that's my house, that's our house," and they all owe. So, and then I thought, "Oh, it's just a good bit, and it's a good news story." Like, I keep being like, "Does anybody wanna pick up this news story? Like, who's this crazy woman going around, and who's her?" Who are all these people who have these healing tools and are real radicals, Like, we're a good story, So I'm like, "That's a good story. That's a good news item." I'm gonna keep tagging journalists, keep tagging journalists. I tagged a bunch of them in the stuff when you posted about Helena's interview. I was like, "Yeah, it's really interesting that Helena Norberg Hodge, who's a recognized public intellectual, is like, all of our institutions have failed. They're gone." And she recognized that in public. She said it, she agreed with me. Like, that's newsworthy, So I thought the Jack Dorsey thing was newsworthy. And, uh, and then, if a bunch of us are live streaming from his house, I think it's gonna catch on. So that's the new plan. But so anyway, Kim here first, for this. Eric's Corner, hi, Freeman, hi, Truth Seeker. Wish I was there. You're here, not a fake. Can you feel it? Also, I'm coming on with you and Margaret. Soon we're gonna talk about gratitude. Yes, still on for coming with karaoke. Okay, great. You are earning all the top achievement crystal bearer badges. This is it. So Claudia and Ginny are creating a game, the Crystal Bearers game. So I want to be the first, like the high earner, and get the first badges, like Pac-Man. You know what I mean? Like when people go back to the Pac-Man game, it's the person from 1985 still, won. As I want to be that gal. So yeah, I'm already halfway out. I'm done with my crystals. I'm gonna need new vial soon here. Okay, so I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna prop this up here, and then hopefully you guys can still hear me and see the stone. So then I'm gonna load up my hands with everything we talk about. Oh, it's fun. You can see the mist now. I can't be on for much longer because I gotta save some battery for the 45-minute walk back by myself. This, it's so funny. I every single day that I'm out here, I'm like, I just laugh to myself. I'm like, you're quite a character. I'm quite a character. A bold woman. I'm getting bolder in my age. So I'll load up the two hands and I'm gonna marry him because I can hug it and touch my two hands. So here's what I have so far. Feminine and masculine. Black and white. melanated, unmelanated, or less melanated, more or less melanated, north and south, rich and poor, east and west. What else? What else do I load us up with here and do a merger? Onion Valley Go is still great and no wind howling. Fantastic. Yeah, it's very quiet here. It's literally all I can hear are birds. A little bit. I wonder if you can hear the ocean if I'm quiet enough. That little rumbling in the background is the ocean. Inner world and outer world. Perfect. Inner world and outer world. Oh, good. I'm glad you're laughing with me, Lamar. Because sometimes I'm like, you know, it's a fine line. There's a fine line. Night and day, good and bad. Perfect. Light and dark. Night and day, good and bad, abundance and scarcity. Okay, great. Oh, love this. Love this. Left and right. Like left brain and right brain, you know. I'm not just gonna even say like up and down and back and forth. Like it's like directions. We have directions split, versus it's all on this moving spectrum in a multi-dimensional, ever-flowing thing. Love these. Night and day, good and bad. What else? Starting to rain now a little. I'm just gonna give you guys one more minute to anything else. Oh, I was gonna do like this, like hard and soft, you know? Um Richard, I'm in Cape Clear, also great name, right? Instead of Cape Fear, it's Cape Clear in Ireland at the Marrying Stones. Here, past and future, perfect, Lamar. For those who are coming later, here I am at the Marrying Stones. There's a hole in this stone that people got married through. We're doing a ritual of blending artificial divisions. We're loading up my hands and I'm going to touch them through the stone and do a ritual here. The sky does not confine the rain. No, it doesn't. Past and future. Good, good. Okay, I'll put you back. I love that past and future. Okay. Um oh, the animals always come for those who are on. Hi. Would you like to come say hi? For those who are on with Abby, just chilling. Just a ram. How magical. I was going to see if the bull is out again. You can't see. Hi, you want to come over? No? All right. She's got some floppy ears. When Abby was on, we had a snake come up to the window and like show his profile in the window. We've had frogs, the animals. It's the Hobbit. they come around the Hobbit. The sky doesn't come. Okay. This is so fun, but I gotta save a little or I gotta save a little thing. But I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do lives. Tomorrow will be the Grangestone Circle and Bridget's Well. So I'll just go live. I'll just keep going live. As long as I have a signal. So okay. I'm loaded up. I'm gonna marry him. I'm just gonna wing it in terms of what I say here. They might be not far from my native Cork. Ooh. Yes, I'm in Cork County. I think Cape Clear is the southernmost island in Cork County. Hi, Britt. Yeah. I could walk. So I'm gonna do the ritual. I'm gonna merge everything we just said, load it up my hands. I've said them out loud. I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna start walking back because I wanna keep some power. Okay. We're going to merge all of the false divisions that we named. From now on, they go together. They are married. They are merged. They are together. No false divisions. Total convergence. We are together now. It is done. 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 Thank you, guys. All right. There we go. I'm going to walk with have you walk with me. I'll walk with you until I see that there's like 10% left or something. I'll leave that much with me. Okay. Thank you, Marrying Stones. I have a feeling we'll be back. This would be a great place for a party too. Everywhere I go, I'm like, oh, that'd be a great place for a party. Oh, here he is. Let's see. Hi. Would you like to say hi? I'd like to say hi to you. What do you think? You're very handsome. Everybody says it. We all think you're very handsome. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll just walk together. Yo. Could we be more magical out here? My goodness. Ireland is so magical. It absolutely feels like I've been here before. It's living in Lord of the Rings. It's just wild. I was driving today, had like a little less than 3-hour drive. Hi. He's coming over. He's coming closer. You're thinking about it. I see you thinking about it. I'll just stand still. Yeah. I would love for you to come say hi. I'd love it. Yeah. All right. Hi, Nergis. Anyway, it's just so magical here. And every place I go, new codes and new things, but oh, hi, you're back. He's back. He's now, so because you thought I was opening the gate for you, but I don't think you can come through. But we could have a pet. How about a pet? Hi. Okay. Yeah, I can't let you through, Gal was very insistent that I close the gate because of the bull. So we'll see if I see the bull on the road. Braver than you. All lights will light up. I got all lights will light up. Oh, I love that. Oh yeah, tell me what y'all received. All lights will light up. Whoo, I'm getting chills with that. That's what I keep seeing with the party, like, and people just lit up. Like, we're all receiving our ancient codes. We're all remembering, and then the land is so lit up. And so in Ireland, where I was like, oh my God, there's so many sites, and they're all nodal points. And I'm a node, you're a node. So whenever we go somewhere, just like like I used to do a EFT and tapping. It's more efficient to just put your awareness on these points and inside your body. But I mean, it's still good to tap or hold points. But then it just opens the channel, open the channel. And that's how it feels here. It's just like opening, like lights going on. And so I was sitting in the dolmens, and I just sit for a while, and then it was like literally a light came on in me, and it'd be like an idea. And then literally, there's a video I made. I didn't like how it came out, but a rainbow showed up right after I like said my piece. It was just like, ding, and a rainbow came. I keep hanging out with animals. Hi, here's some cows. Hi, guys. I hopped a fence earlier. Oh, to hang out with the cows. Maybe not this one, though. There's some barbed wire. Hi. Aren't you beautiful? Anyway, love that. Hey, Nancy, Megan, are you employing iOS to do your life? I am done nothing other than, I know, isn't the grass so green? I know, it's so green. This mist. I mean, and then these rock walls everywhere, stone walls everywhere. No, I'm just using the 5G. It's gotten better as I've gone here, the signal. It is done, so it is. We have spoken. There's the language. We have spoken. It is done. Yep, here in Cork. Apple iOS mobile. Yeah. Yep. Sorry, I don't know my tech terms. All right, the battery's getting a little low, but I think it goes like every day, like pretty much every day from here on out. I'm flying out. Still haven't bought my plane ticket. I just bought a one-way ticket. So I was like, I don't know. How would I know? How would I know what I'm doing? You know? And I started to think about this a lot. I was like, because I went back and forth about where to go on the 11/11. I was like, am I just like a flaky girl, And I'm like, no, that's just reality. Like, we are nonlinear beings. And I got to say, especially women, but we all are, because we all have the feminine flow in us. And so I changed my mind. I changed it flowed, and every day it's like and the idea to go to the Marrying Stones came, but it was like took a day or two to land it. But following the flow makes it obviously so much more magical. I've met amazing people, and it's just all felt like when I was going to these dolmens. So there are these two that are on the land I was staying on, and then there's a third one that was like the biggest one that was in town, and I couldn't nobody was clear about where it was, right? And I couldn't find online and stuff. Turns out it was buried deep in this other person's land. And so I'd just seen a rainbow. I was trying to go to this second dolmen, kept getting lost because I get lost everywhere I go. But it wasn't very good signage anyway. And John, the owner of the property, who I hadn't met, comes by on the road, and he's like, picks me up. And he's like, well, where do you want to go? I was like, John, whatever. He's like, no. So he takes me to the third dolmen, which is amazing. And we talk, and he was saying how these dolmens are all over, and there's a famous billionaire, who's the only billionaire in Ireland. And this was like in the 90s into the 2000s. So the billionaire, like, I don't know, he's originally in shipping, and then he was in insurance, typical billionaire, just kept starting businesses. And he just look at that. I mean, just like, So he bought a bunch of land, and then he moved. Oh, so John takes me to the dolmen. He takes me to an abbey. He takes me to a fairy circle. He's telling me all this lore. Never would have found it. Never would have been there. Nothing. He had picked me up like minutes after I had seen this rainbow, which, had I not gotten lost, I wouldn't have been outside in the rain to catch the rainbow. The flow of it all. So anyway, John tells me about this billionaire. He had a dolmen on his, and the dolmens are like just like little stone circles, basically. And the third one had a flat thing on top. It was like a little hut and mini Stonehenges. And so he had a dolmen on his property. He had been successful for like 20 years with all these different businesses. But then he moved the dolmen. And he moved it from like high up in this land where it's very similar like this. It's like a sacred place where people go and they're reverential and it's quiet in a way. And he moved it into town and like his front lawn. So he shaped it like how it was or whatever. But now it's not on its nodal point, right? And he's just basically disrupted the flow and the energy. And he went bankrupt within a year. Bankrupt within a year. Forget his name, but I was like, well, there you go. Could have predicted that. Some birds flying by. A lot of crows around. Just the road. Oh, this gorse gets called. I've been in Scotland, and it's like the shrubbery on the golf courses there, and it's rough stuff, but makes it just magical. Anyway, Roscrea, oh, Roscoe's. I am profoundly lonesome for St. Joseph's Abbey in Roscoe's, Tipperary. Oh, I was in Tipperary. That rings a bell. I might have gone by there. I can understand feeling an ache for Ireland. Hi, Evan. Okay, good to see you. You know, I've never been here, but I definitely can feel it in my bones and in my blood. And like, I'm like, I'm not all that precious with taking photos and stuff. I mean, I have, but because I'm like, I'll be back because it's so beautiful. And I also know, when freedom is like here and the wealth transfer is here and it's all going to happen so that we all can just move around and, it's all our home. A very large bird. Maybe, Richard, you know this bird. I hate to end the live, but I do have to have some juice left. These guys, these big seabirds. There's these stone walls everywhere. So beautiful, huh? I'm gonna stay in Rothmore Hotel or Airbnb today. I was gonna drive up north, but I'm tired. The ferry. Whew, some choppy seas. I didn't know. I've been on a boat I've been with my mother and her husband years ago. Choppy seas, but something about this ferry. Ooh, just went so kind of like I'm going to want to stay still for the rest of the evening after I go back. Okay, well, this was amazing, you guys. I can't believe it. I'm so glad. I got a good signal, and I'll plan on going live again tomorrow. And just every day that I'm here, I just haven't felt like it. But now this kind of like broke the seal, and now I feel like it. So I'll see you tomorrow. The issue is also obviously the time difference. But sometimes I'm like out earlier in the day, but it seems like a good time. So I will see you tomorrow. But anyway, I get it, Richard. Come back. You'll be back. You look cold as fuck, Kevin says. I'm not. I'm just, it's because I've been moving. I'm not cold. I'm nice and cozy. And this jacket is the best. So I'm dry, fully dry. So I don't have a chill or anything. And it's like, it's actually warmer on this island, on the peninsula than, no, this is an island, or on the peninsula as I was in Dingle before this. And Dingle was warmer than any place I'd been, right on the coast. Dingle is, oh my God, so cute. Holy merit. I've been in Tipperary and Galbally, Dublin, South Dublin, where Anna is. Sneem. Sneem was adorable. These names, Sneem. I mean, come on. I had It just sounds like a joke. It sounds like Lord of the Rings. I had a friend, my friends Eric and Marissa. They were pregnant. This was like 20 years ago now, maybe 18. Anyway, big Lord of the Rings fans. And Marissa is Filipino, Eric's white dude, and everybody would ask, what are you going to name your son? You know, they were having a boy, and they told everyone dead face for like 6 months or whatever, Gloin. They were going to call him Gloin. That was his name. And when I heard Sneem, all I could think was that. Like, it's just like shut everybody up. Like, Sneem. We're going to go with Gloin. Gloin of Gimli or something. Gimli, son of Gloin. That's the line from LOR. Anyway, that's how it feels here. It feels like I'm inside the fairy tale. A funky little hobbit in the fairy tale. Okay, thank y'all. You're there to cultivate your gnomeness, my hobbitness. Yes. I'm not a gnome. Claudia's a gnome, though. And Netta Faye, I think we thought maybe you were a hobbit. Evan's a fairy. And if people don't know what I'm talking about, episode 30 of the podcast is on the kindreds. And this is it. It's like, I think the kindreds, so the fairies, elves, hobbits, gnomes, dwarves, and humans. I think we've got star families, and I think we've got elemental families, earth families. And I think the kindreds come from the lands, the earth, the elements that you grew up, that your line is. Some kind of mix there. Although my cousin is a gnome and she has a dwarf husband, and they have a fairy, an elf, and a hobbit. So it's not like if you're gnomes, although I wonder if 2 gnomes probably would have a gnome, like the odds would be. But in Irish lore, hobbits are what pixies and brownies create, those 2 elementals. There's a woman named Tanis Hallowell who wrote a whole book called Summer with the Leprechauns, and she wrote a book called Hybrids. It's all about elemental beings. And, there's some alpacas. Anyway, fairies and gnomes make hobbits. And I just so happen to have a fairy mother and a gnome father. So it worked in my case. I still can't zoom in, but you see the alpacas? Anyway, you can find out what you are in that episode 30, 4 hours. But Dave, the gnome front, another gnome, did a great outline of it. The whole transcript's there. So easier summary. You don't have to watch the full 4 hours. But at some point, this is part of the vision for Substack or wherever, is like a big panel, right? Where we have representatives of all 6, or then we have a panel of 6 gnomes. And then instead of me guessing what it's like to be a gnome, the gnomes say it. And they find out how they're similar, So that's the idea. But anyway, this is it's very hobbit gnome land. I don't know that I've met any elves. I've met a couple fairies. Met a couple dwarves, but majority hobbit and gnome around here. So, yeah. Supposedly Elon made some racist remarks, as he does, but he was talking about England and Ireland having hobbits that were basically hobbits, and whatever. Like it was a dig, but in some ways, but it was. I was like, God, is it? What's gonna bust us open? What's gonna get the news out about how fucking cool all of our stuff is? Is it the kindreds? Do the LOR fans get too intrigued they can't deny, what we have to offer? It's always been a question. What is the breakthrough? What gets the defector to cross the bridge? We'll see. It might be that Doug and I are knocking on the door on Jack Dorsey's door on 11/11. Because Douglas, I hope you're down for that. Literally, I don't think we're gonna have to knock on the door. I think he's just gonna, come out. We need a news team. Come out. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be a fun part of the story. Okay, definitely got to save my juice. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Go there for St. Joseph's Abbey. You were born in Cork. Look up the history of the stone walls and why there are so many small ones. Okay, I will. Great. Okay. Come back to Ireland. Go check out my last message on a gnome house. Okay, you're a wizard. Yeah, we are all wizards. We are all wizards. It's just what kind of wizard. I still believe. I think you're an elf, Steph. Pretty sure you're an elf. You're too speedy. Too speedy. You like too much, too fast. It's not very Hobbit or gnome. Thoughts with the quickness. Okay, very good. Thank y'all. See you tomorrow. Thanks for being with me. Bye.